Hey everyone, it's Friday, so that means it's time for this week's BMX news. If you're new here, this is a weekly BMX news video where I talk about everything that I think you might care about that happened during the previous week in BMX. So if that's something that you're into, you know what to do. But with that being said, let's get into the first bit of news from the past week of BMX. And the first thing I want to talk about is the biggest thing that we're going to talk about today, and you probably have already heard about it. If not, Dylan Stark was assaulted, jumped, attacked, whatever you want to call it, at Venice Beach Skatepark. So basically what happened was Dylan showed up to Venice Beach Skatepark where there was one other bike rider who said he had been there for the past 3 hours. Dylan dropped in and he got kind of close to a skateboarder who, if I remember correctly, was finishing his run and coming out of the bowl. I'm not 100% sure, but he didn't get super close. Either way, the skateboarder got mad, started yelling at Dylan, then someone else started yelling at that skateboarder, and then after this continued for a little bit, out of nowhere, another skateboarder came up behind Dylan and just hit him, and then chaos ensued. The skateboarder was trying to take Dylan's camera, and they just kept going at it. The other bike rider got involved, and the whole time, both Dylan's helmet cam, the other bike rider's helmet cam, and Dylan's camera, which was in his hand, were recording, and he uploaded the video of this. And at points in the video he asks us to not hate all skateboarders and to not start controversy and confrontation because of the video, but that is exactly what the video created, and that's probably why he took the video down. So I'm really just going off memory here because I can't rewatch it. Either way though, the controversy and tension created by this video is absolutely insane, and I want to make it very clear that I don't agree with anything that the skateboarders did in this video. Not even just the fighting part either. I don't agree with any of the yelling or freaking out on Dylan whatsoever. But I also don't think that this is a case to where we should automatically hate every single skateboarder out there just because of this video and the actions of the few. That's the kind of mentality that leads to situations like this one, and it's the reason why this happened in the first place. It's acceptable for the skateboarders to hate every single bike rider who just wants to come and enjoy the skate park. And with that being said, I have heard that Venice Beach Skate Park is just somewhere that you don't go there when you're on your bike. You know that this is what you're getting in for, and that's just completely wrong. We shouldn't have to worry about going to a skate park and getting jumped just because we want to ride our bikes. So I think the important thing to take out of this situation is that we need to take all situations as they come, and that our hobbies don't define our character as people, our actions do. The guys who jumped and attacked Dylan are garbage people, and just because of these few garbage people, we shouldn't hate every single other skateboarder out there. These two garbage dudes are not reason to think that every single skateboarder is a garbage person. If you've been riding for any amount of time, you know that not all skateboarders are like the ones in this video, and you've probably been to no bike skate parks where there've been skateboarders there and you've gotten along with them and had a great time. It's just, we have to take every situation as it comes, and we can't use situations like this to use blanket judgment on everyone just for the actions of a few people. And from that crappy situation in news, let's move to something a little bit more awesome in the fact that Tate Roskelley is literally a magician. You probably have already seen this clip too, but it's worth watching again, so I'm going to show it on the screen right now. Hope you don't mind, Tate. You're probably not going to see this, but you're crazy. I have to show it. I'm sorry. It's already been playing, so you've already seen what happens by now, and holy crap at how many tries that had to take, or how lucky he was to get it in a few tries. This is seriously one of the craziest things I've ever seen, and that's why it deserves to be talked about singularly before we get into the videos. So once again, Tate, you're a freaking magician. Please do more things like this because it's absolutely amazing every single time that we do. And if you don't follow what Tate's doing, check out his videos because he seriously has some of the most amazing BMX video parts because of the creativity and the insanity of the things that he does. I don't know how he thinks of it, and I'm one of the kind of people who some people might consider as a creative rider. So from there, I want to get into the sponsor news from this past week from my notes, which are right here, because without my notes, this video will be much worse than it probably already is. So the first thing that we have in sponsor news is that Jordan Godwin is now on Monster Energy. Last week was the week of Jordan Godwin videos, and now this week we have the news that he's riding for Monster Energy. And after that, the last thing that I have to talk about in sponsorship news is a name that I'm gonna butcher probably, Yumi Tsukuda, is now on the Fit Pro team. So congrats to those guys, and now let's talk about the next piece of news in that Van Homan and Brian Kaczynski are running an amateur contest series called the Uncovered BMX Series. The first one went down at Mason-Dixon Skate Park in Maryland, and there's a couple highlights videos up that show how absolutely crazy the contest got. My friends Jamie Thayer and Alex Librock got second and third, with a much-deserved first going to a guy that they call Mad Mike, who did all of the craziness. Just watch the highlight videos. And that being said, everything that I talk about is going to be in the description below in the order that I talk about it. The next stop is at the Wheel Mill the day after Winter Welcome Jam on February 25th. So if you're an AM, get there, because BMX needs more stuff like this, and it's awesome that Brian and Van are supporting the AMs the way that they are. But with that being said, we can now move into the videos that we have to talk about, and there are a lot of them, so get ready. The first one that I want to talk about is Matt Beringer's appearance on the Anything Goes podcast with TJ Lavin and Forrest Griffin. He talks about a lot of crazy and inspirational stuff, so if you haven't seen or heard about this yet, go check it out. It's definitely worth the watch. The next thing that we have to talk about is another name I'm probably going to butcher, in Zach Hutera or Hutera for Division brand, and honestly, this might be my favorite video from the last week. The first clip is a gigantic rail hop, and the rest of the video mixes street riding tech with burly street riding, and the last clip literally made me laugh out loud whenever he landed it. The dude even laughed after he landed it. It was so insane and burly, and there was no over-the-top celebrating about it. This guy rules. The next video that I want to talk about is Weird and Revered Rural Ruckus. The videos that come from this backyard ramp setup are always awesome, and this is absolutely no exception whatsoever. It's basically a skate park of ramps in the middle of a yard with dudes pedaling through grass as hard as they can to go high and jump box jumps. There's a lot of creativity in here from a few of the guys, so what more could you ask for than guys pedaling through grass as hard as they can to jump stuff and have fun? The next video that I want to talk about is another name I'm probably going to butcher, which we have a lot of this week, in Alex Nikulin Woodward West Russian Invasion. It's pretty much official at this point in that Russia is the new Australia. It seems like everyone who's blowing up lately in the park riding scene is from Russia, and it's pretty awesome to see how crazy these guys literally all are. Every single one of them is amazing at riding. At first, I was impressed by the front flip turn down that this guy did, and then he did a front flip cliffhanger, and I went like this. And if you like this video, there's also a game of bike between Alex and Bryce Tryon, which will be linked right below this video in the description. After that, the Russian invasion of Woodward West continues with another name that I'm probably going to butcher, in Irek Rizaev. If anyone is the machine, it's this guy. Seriously, he opens with a 3 double tail whip to downside whip, and he made it look easy. This video is absolutely insane, and if you like park riding, it's right up your alley. And next we have a video from another name that I'm probably gonna butcher, and that is Matty Aquizap. Then we've got Clint Reynolds and Mike Hucker Clark with some hot dogs who can't read from S&M leftovers. If you want to get sweaty palms watching dudes go higher than anyone ever should go on bikes, this is the video to watch. You know, whenever you watch those videos of guys changing light bulbs in those huge towers, that's how it made me feel watching this video, because those guys were going probably 30 feet in the air, and they were doing it like they do it every day, because literally that's what they do every day. They go to these trails and go 30 feet in the air every day, and as someone who feels like they've jumped some pretty big trails in their life, I still got nervous watching them ride the trails that they were in this video. And also, Hucker's bar ride at the end of this video is seriously amazing. There's nothing that you could say about it. You just have to see it. S&M also posted the leftovers of Mike Hoder in Colombia from the DVD last night, and if there's any video that you watch from this week's news video, make it this one. Charlie edited it together so funny, and you just have to see it. I laughed the entire time watching the video. After that, we've got Aaron Ross Tastemakers in Austin, Texas. The premise of this video is a local's guide to the city. There's a lot of information packed in this under 3-minute video, and it's always nice to learn a little bit more about a rider because we can't get enough of that kind of content. With that being said, that's everything that I want to talk in depth about this week, but there's still a bunch of other videos that are worth mentioning, so we're going to do that in a quick list right now. We've got BCAVE Streets of Rage 4, Billy Perry versus Anthony Panza in a game of bike at Woodward, Joe Molina for Cult, Animal, and Casual BMX, 58 Seconds with Anthony Napolitan for Profile Racing, Danny Camacho, B. Rollin with ABQ DNV, Simone Baracco and Bruno Hoffman in Munich, How to Flare with Brock Horneman, and Pat Casey's 2017 Crash Clips. After that, we've got the quickie check it out if you care news with 4 different bike checks in Liam Marshall's bike check, Tristan Cooper's bike check, Mike Curley's bike check, and Albert Mercado's bike check. Next, we've got products in the Shadow Conspiracy keychain. It's shaped like a coffin, as you can see here. There's really not much to say about it, but if it's something that you're into, it's in the Shadow web store, which will be in the description below. Man-Made BMX Clothing is back, and they are back with a 10-minute trail video called Back in the New Groove. Next, we have a promo video for Killian Roth's Cult Shorty colorway. It's a really great video, but we only get about a 2-second glimpse of the frame color itself, and I couldn't find any pictures online of the colorway, so we're gonna have to wait to see more of that. But other than that, the video itself was great. I just wish that I could see what the frame actually looks like, because even when they showed the frame in the video, there was an overlay over part of the frame, so we really didn't get a great look at it yet, and it looked like it was a really awesome color. Next, we've got the G-Sport Elite Free Coaster wheel, which is exactly what it sounds like, a free coaster from G-Sport, but it does have external slack adjustment, so you won't have to take off your wheel to adjust it. Finally, we have the Flybikes Sergio Leo's signature Sierra line. This comes in the form of a frame, bars, and a seat, and BMX Union has a write-up with specs, pictures, and details on their website, which will be linked in the description below, along with everything else that we talked about this week in the order that it was talked about. That's everything that I have as far as BMX news goes. If you guys like this video and you want more BMX news, hit the subscribe button. There's no reason not to, and it's free. There will be more BMX news videos every Friday, along with tips and tricks videos on Tuesday, with other types of riding videos throughout the week. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time, and goodbye.